What's going on, ESGN Nation, and welcome back to another episode here on NCAA Football 14. And this is the Stanford Cardinals Online Dynasty. This is episode 68, and we're getting ready for the offseason here. And of course, if you know anything about these offseason videos here, at least in this series, which we have to go pretty quick. So I may not be able to cover everything, but I just want to give you guys my overall thought about the season and what I expect for next season. As you already know, we've won the national championship. If you have not seen the game, you guys can see the edited version like I normally have here on the channel on here. I'll leave a link down below from that episode, or I'll leave a link down below also too. I'm pretty sure I have the full version of the game. You guys can check out here on the channel also if you guys want to check that out. So either way, you guys can check that out. Just extra content out there, especially for the full game. You guys can check that out and see how that game was won. And of course, it was a fun game playing that one. I think a lot more better than when we won it the first time around against Illinois. This year we defeated Texas A&M, a team that I was really paying attention to pretty closely throughout the course of the season, really, especially once we got to the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. I started noticing things. I was looking at their squad and what they were doing, and came close to have to play one of either Taylor or Steve. Now, for this upcoming season, we're doing this thing where if you're not in the national championship game, or if two of you are not in the national championship game, you have to play you have to play each other to kind of phase one of them out and give the other ones the chance to play, because Taylor, I think, if I'm not mistaken, lost one game. And then, of course, Steve's his schedule wasn't that strong, as the division wasn't as strong that he plays. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Steve maybe only plays maybe 1 or 2 non-conference games in his, which is kind of odd, kind of weird, but that's how he has it set. So, but yeah, this year they're going to be doing that. Now, for us, I don't know where we're going to be ranked at. You'll see it here towards the end of the video. But we do have some new coaches, as we're taking a look here, that new DCs and OCs here. So we have to get used to those guys and then kind of get them up to where we had our last DC and our OC from this past season. But I was not really expecting to win. I mean, even the first time we won the championship against Illinois, wasn't expecting that. I wasn't really expecting us to be in the picture again. Especially the second year, right? I mean, the season after this, which was this current season that we're just now finishing up, wasn't really expecting us to be in the national championship picture. And I don't really now. I'm going to say this now. I don't expect us to be in the national championship picture this time for this potential third run for it. As you see, they were talking to Phil, one of the guys that I'm really, unfortunately, he did get played in the national championship game. That was awesome. But I'm glad that we are able to hold on to him there. You see that he's going to stay around for another year. So it's going to be really nice to see him play. And hopefully, cross our fingers, we can get him a chance at the Heisman Trophy. As you take a look at we got one player there, Antonio Randall, is leaving to go to UNLV for playing time. And, of course, there you see some of the players there that are possibly going to go pro. Now, if you guys don't know about this series, or especially my other series there on the main channel, they're on ESGNet, definitely check out that channel. There's a link down below for you guys to check it out, or I'll leave a link up in the eye. But both of those series are college football games, and of course, if there's any players that really stick out to me that I'm like, oh, that'd be a great player to put in a Madden draft class or whatever, I try to recreate them and try my best to get them to what I think, they would be like in Madden, where they would be a normal superstar, was it normal star, superstar, and X Factor superstar type of player. So I try to get them close to what their counterpart would be like from this NCAA game to what they could be in Madden. Now those draft classes I've already kind of worked on Madden 20, but now since Madden 22's out, because I did not buy Madden 21 last year for obvious reasons, but for 22 I recently just picked it up, been playing on it for a while now. It's a bit of an improvement from from 21, from at least what I've seen from people playing it and whatnot. There's some hiccups there still they have to deal with, but for the most part, it's getting better. It's an improvement. That's what you want to see. We should have been seeing that a lot more, recently here, but it's an improvement. I'll give you guys. I might make a video about Madden 22, my personal opinion about it, here soon on the channel. But for this one, as you see all the players from both, from my team, from Steve's team, and also from my buddy Taylor's. A lot of these players will probably be on the future NCAA games or future Madden games, but they'll be in different draft classes. I've kind of spread them out through different draft classes and stuff like that. Try to keep them together as if they were in real life, going to the pros together and stuff like that. But there are going to be some in draft classes. I don't want them to be obviously, like, oh, he's always going to be a first round guy, or, like for instance, like Brooks or whatever. They say he's C. Brooks is going to be a third round guy. Well, I might make him a second round guy, late second round, or I might make him an early fourth round guy. So I'm going to change it up some. I'm going to throw some curveballs in there to kind of trip you guys up. And whatnot, and of course you guys, I'm gonna have those on the channel or on the game, and they'll be of course they'll be on there. They won't be released until this, towards the end, that whatever that season it is that they are going to be released. Once I show you guys who they are in that season, after that season's over with in Madden, then those will be released, and then you guys can re-edit those any way you want, however you want. I just want to make something that if you guys like this series, or like Behind the Scotty series, and you like those players that we had in those series, you guys can have those of your own. You guys change the names, whatever. But I wouldn't mind seeing them if you guys do happen to use them, and you kind of alter them some a little bit, stats or the attributes or whatever. Let me know down below. Give me a screenshot, or if you guys can show me a video, send me a video or something like that. If it's good enough, I'll repost it onto my channel, to the ESGNet channel, or we do have it, or actually you can post it on Discord. We do have a Discord page there, so you guys can. I'll actually getting the page set up here on the channel, there on Discord channel, so you guys can show me the video and show me the players, stuff like that. So that's for future draft classes for Madden 22 coming up. In the possible distant future, and like I said, I'll have more video about that, talking about that coming up once we get once we get that series over there on Madden, because I don't know what team I'm even running in Madden 22, so go figure. Once I figure that out, then we'll continue from there. But yeah, for the most part, it's been this was a really exciting season. Like I said, I wasn't really expecting us to be in the national championship game again and play as well as we did and whatnot. It was really cool. Really, I wish we could. The quarterback, Joel James, that is definitely a experiment that I don't think will probably be used too much next season, especially if he plays the way how he did this season. Now he had the most touchdowns in NCAA, this season, but he also had the most interceptions. So, we'll see how it goes in the first game, because the first game we are going to be going against Texas A&M in that game for the new season, in season 5. And remind you, season 5, as we take a look here at some of the players that we're going after recruiting wise in the off season. Season 5 will be the last season of this series, so this will be it. After season 5, there will be no more of this online Dynasty, at least for the time being. We'll step away from it. We may jump back in here with Steve and Taylor again somewhere down the line, or we could recreate the series into a standalone series where it's just me playing at Stanford, maybe like a coaching carousel type or something like that. But that'll be somewhere in the future. Yeah, this will be the last season, so we'll see how this goes, season 5, and we'll go from there. But yeah, this was a fun season. Some of the stuff I wasn't really expecting for it to happen, especially with the storyline between the two halfbacks, Graham and then Brandon Walker. Walker, remember, he was a starter there for a while for us, and then we kind of said, no, we're going to switch it up. We're going to get start Graham. Graham, of course, played very well, especially last season. Was really doing a great job until he ended up, I think he broke his ankle. And so Walker had to come in and take over, and pretty much did a great job there towards the end of the season. Those last 3 or 4 games or so he was in. Did a great job of stepping up and playing that role. And now we really have another, really a good, halfback battle in that backfield there. And of course, the biggest story of them all this past season was, of course, Mark, DeAndre Mark. Of course, now he's going to go to the NFL. We'll see him in a future Madden series, probably, or definitely for sure. I shouldn't say probably. He definitely will be for sure. But that was a great story there. We were so close to getting that Heisman Trophy, but came up short as Taylor's halfback, Speedy Davis, who will be in a future Madden series, draft class, I should say, at some point here. Great story with him and how he played. And Taylor, he was really impressed with the way he was really. He actually likes the halfback that I have there, and he was really hoping that my halfback was going to really, our tight end was going to win, because he wanted to see a tight end win the Heisman, but at the same time, his guy was doing really well, so he didn't want to let up. I told him, don't let up, let me fight for it, and but unfortunately we came up short, and hopefully we will have another chance with another player coming up towards the end of this coming season that we're about to play, or actually we've already started playing, because I'm a few episodes ahead right now from where we're at right now when I'm recording this. So but yeah, this was a great season there, and DeAndre did a great job. By far, I still have to say Hunter Cannon is probably my favorite tight end I've ever had in an NCAA game. If you guys check out my Hot and Scotty series, he's in that series there from the very beginning. That kid just could catch anything, anywhere, anytime. But yeah, this was a great year. You also had Clint Williams, who had a really great year catching the football and doing big things there, and I'm hoping we'll see more of him next season. Of course, Barber, I think he is another one I think sticked around. So I'm really hoping we'll see what he can do. And of course, I'm looking forward to some of the players that are going to be coming coming up as a freshman here next season. As we got not the freshman class I won, because there are a lot of these guys here you'll see here in a bit that we're unable to get. As you see, we're trying to figure out, flex some points around here on certain areas and certain players that we need. And of course, one of the big areas that we're having trouble with is our offensive line. We really need a good offensive line, and I don't know, this season we may, and that's one thing about NCAA. This game is so wonky when it comes to offensive players, especially offensive linemen. I have no problem getting wide receivers and tight ends, stuff like that I need, but when it comes to offensive linemen, it's just so irritating. They could be number one on your list for the majority, you could have that whole bar filled, and then out of nowhere towards the end of the season, it's like, oh no, we're going to our third favorite team, and you could complete everything they're asking you to do and still come up short. So that's one of the things I'm really just kind of I don't know if that's happened to you guys. Let me know down below in the comment section if that is, or if there's a trick you guys can tell me that to get good offensive linemen. Because I try to go after decent ones that would want to come to our school, most importantly. Because usually sometimes those are pretty, but a lot of times those are ones that are they're 50 overall, or 55, 57, 56, 58 overall, somewhere around that 60 mark. But I want some ones that are mid 60s, or mid 60s, low 70s to come to our school and really take off. Because like I said, I swap guys in and out in formations to get that experience and whatnot. And this season was really tough because we really don't have really any depth when it comes to this, and that's kind of the same thing I'm having right now in my Highland Scotty series. That we're just having a tough time getting some depth on the team on the offensive side of the ball, mainly on the offensive line. And so that's just, I don't know what the deal is with the game. I don't know if it's programmed a certain way or whatever, but it's really weird. So anyway, but yeah, we're just, like I said, that's one thing I'm really concerned about. Defensively wise, we play very well. One thing I just wish, and I've been trying to, I found an article online about how to fix it, and I've kind of fixed it with the player, especially on the Highland Scotty series, about the no huddle. I try, we've talked about this whatnot as a group, and it's been kind of bugging them too. I try to figure out how to fix that with the huddle thing. I told them some fixes that we could use, I gave them ideas of how it can be fixed and whatnot. But we're still having really issues with that, especially in the Highland Scotty series. It's still been an issue. I don't know what the deal is, but I don't know if the game's just figuring like, okay, this defense is not that strong, blah 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 blah. We're just gonna go ahead and keep doing what we've been doing, which is, just doing no huddle, and then throws these weird like interception passes or whatever. It's like, okay, come on now, like I legitimately stopped you on third and one or whatever, and then you either go for it or somehow you just it just does some weird stuff, just glitching wise. And yes, I know the game is nearly almost 17, 18 years old. But yeah, it's just really frustrating. It's just like this is annoying. That's why I had to get away from, especially my Highland Sky series. I was getting really annoyed with this. I kind of back off from playing the game and whatnot. And I'm kind of getting back into it now here, and that's one of the reasons why I want to stop this series, is because I kind of want to just kind of really focus on my Highland Scotty series. I got a lot of big plans, you guys, for future. Trying to change up every season as much as I can. Leading up to really, if you guys don't know yet, but leading up to hopefully whenever we do get that new college football game here in the near future, I got some plans. If everything goes right, and I'll maybe talk about it in another video, but I have some plans on recreating this team into that game. If Team Builder is, really most importantly, Team Builder has to be back. And I was, I have an idea of how I'm going to do that for that game. So, but like I said, we'll talk about that. Maybe that's another video I can just kind of chat about in a future video or something, somewhere down the line here. But I got some really good, like when it comes to, especially one thing everybody's talking about right now is realignment and realigning schools, and trying to make it realistic and reasonable when it comes to geographically, but also to like what schools would really fit well here in the Big 12. And there might be some changes here. Of course, like I said, we're doing this relegation in this series, or in the Highland series, for another. We got 4 more now, 4 seasons now. When we can get into that, and then we can really try to do some realignment and stuff. And let me know down below if you guys like that, because that's why I kind of been doing this series with, just particularly with the Pac-12, is kind of doing some relegation. Taking out the really bad schools and putting them in a sister conference, and bringing up the 2 really good schools from that conference, bringing them up and see what they can do. I kind of like it because it really shakes things up. You're not playing the same schools every year. You got a shift and whatnot, and just you kind of want to see those upsets. I like seeing upsets and stuff like that, especially with the sliders I have. I kind of like seeing those upsets and how they play out and stuff like that. So, like I said, that's something I'm kind of working on, and trying to not necessarily make perfect, but try to perfect it just a little bit more, and so on and so forth. So that's that's somewhere, like I said, I'll talk more about that in the Highland Scotty series over there on the main channel. But that is one of the things I kind of want to work on for that series, to make it fresh, make it new, make it more interesting every time I play it, and especially put creative wise with videos here on YouTube. So, but yeah, as you see here, we're just trying to get rid. We still got several points here to deal with here. Once we try to, we got 13,000 points we have, and we only spent over right now a little over 11,000. So we still got several, another 1,000 or another 2,000 or so more points to disperse among these players. And like I said, this is always one of my just times that I'm like, oh, I just wish I had this many people on my list. I wish I had like half of these players to battle. I can really put some points on, stuff like that. And of course, you can't get everybody that you want, but when it comes to offensive line, I just wish I knew what the key was to do and I try to categorize them as a need. You can reorder your draft, your recruiting board to the most important to the least, and I put almost offensive linemen really above. For the most part, that's really crucial for us. We need those, and I put a lot of points on them. But we have a couple. There's a couple games that we couldn't complete what they were asking us to do when it came to, like, oh hey, get 100 and some yards, or for the game for your running back or whatever. Sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes because there was a few games here we did a great job there with Joel James, and I'm like, we'll just keep going with this. Keep going until he just continue getting picked off. And there's a couple games that he really was on fire. We didn't have no interceptions. We went in there, played the game, and got right on out, and didn't have to worry about picks. So that was really nice. But then there were some games I'm like, okay, maybe we should focus on the run a little bit more. But then by the time that happens, the game's already over with there. So, but there you see, we got Derek Frazier, a 70 overall right in there coming up. And then you see just more schools that are committing to other schools besides us, which I just, that Courtney Powers, I was really hoping to get him, but he decided to go to the Lovely Lions. You got Jason Garrett there, of course, going to Air Force. So yeah, we got a lot of, there's other players that we'll see down this list here going somewhere else but Stanford. And of course, I know Coach Bonds, Coach TJ Bonds, who's the head coach of this Stanford series. He's not really established. He's not he's not a household name, but you would think after 2 national championships, and of course now also he's won now 3 Pac-12 championships in a row since starting, and he came close to winning his first bowl game in season 1. You would think he did win a bowl game there. He did win his first bowl game. You would think we would be he's won two bowl games and then 2 national championships. You would think they would give us more love, and schools would come to us, and or young men would want to go to the school and say, hey, we want to play for this young coach. We like what he's doing, we like the direction he's moving this school to, and everything. And you see Marcise Green gets tapped there to come to Stanford. Maybe they don't have the grades. That's because Stanford is a well-known, at least a good Ivy League school on the East Coast or on the West Coast there. But we're just not getting, we don't have that coaching recognition yet and national exposure, I guess. So we're still going to be struggling with that, and that's just something we have to deal with. And we have to, in order to do anything about that, we have to change it. We have to change the culture. And convince people by winning games on the field, winning games, playing against really top-notch schools. This year, I decided to cool it some with some of the big schools, as we're not really highly. We're ranked, I think, in the top 10, but we're not. By the looks of it, they had it prediction-wise, they still had us somewhere middle of the road, in the top 10, maybe in the top 5. for it. And with last year, the way Taylor played, and he had that one loss, I don't see him losing this year. And the same thing with Steve. I mean, he has a pretty good that Conference USA, his what he calls the Canadian USA Conference, because his school is the only school that's from Canada. It looks like it's going to be pretty strong this year. So they got quite a few ranked teams there. So there's going to be a battle in that division this year too. So I don't see us, I see us running the Pac-12 North, and maybe even running the Pac-12 as a whole. But there are some issues, especially this year. We've beaten Cal this is season 5, so we beat them 4 years in a row. We beat them the last 3 years in a row, because they got us good that first season in overtime, or season 2 they got us in overtime. One of those two. Maybe it was season 1. But yeah, we have not lost to them, both home and away, so far here since that overtime loss. So I really believe that we could, we have a shot. I mean, you always have an opportunity, you always have a chance to win it all. But with the way how I have the schedule set up, and I did it on purpose, there would really be a lot of things would have to happen in order to really, for us to get back in that picture again. Because we lost quite a few guys on defense. Of course, offense, we lost quite a few because of graduation, of course, going to the pros. But for the most part here, we got some guys that do have some experience. Like I said, I do try to switch it up. I do try to bring in guys to come in on certain packages to play off second string. So second string, some of the second string guys do have, they do have some play experience and whatnot. But it's just going to come down to just our schedule. Of course, we're playing Notre Dame. I think this year we're going to South Bend. But for the most part here, we just have to just play as hard as we can, and just we'll see this guy. I don't know. I can't really exactly what the schedule looks like here. We'll see it here soon. But take a look here as I kind of get back into showing you guys here on the video some of the changes that we made with some position changes there. You see, we actually quite a few guys that are really athletic, especially in the quarterback position. I've already got a log jam there, so I kind of moved some guys around here to see if they can play some defensive side of the ball. Some guys can play, other besides quarterback, can play in the running back position, which we kind of have a little bit of log jam there. But also too, it'd be nice to have some guys that can help us out, because at some point here, ideally, if I was playing another season, we need help in the running back position, because of Walker and Graham could be or should be, really, think about it, they could go pro by their abilities and their stats. But yeah, just showing you guys some of the different position changes here. And like I said, doing a series like this, especially when we're online, we're trying to get all our stuff done at the same time and trying to get everything done. So I probably missed out on a lot of other things. And of course, I could talk about a lot of different things when we're doing this. So I just try to show us the most important stuff that I can, for you guys. So there you see a tight end there for that Boone young man. I think his highest was, a quarterback there, but like I said, running back. But like I said, there's a little bit of a log jam. Wide receiver wise, I think would be more better for him, because we don't have a deep wide receiver core that I would like to have. So having more wide receiver, well, actually, never mind, we do have but then you see a lot of, look, we got two juniors possibly, and then a senior leaving, so that's 3. And then we got sophomores. Hell is the only one that really had any field experience. The rest of them had, but only when they were, not like full-time starting position, experience, or at least getting a couple of snaps here, unless we put a full second string in, they got time in. So I decided to go ahead and do that, just kind of put him there and the wide receiver position there, and kind of put some more, youth into that position. And then we take a look here at some others here. And like I said, there were some pretty good numbers in different areas. And of course, you always try to look at both sides of the ball, because sometimes a guy offensively has good, but if you start looking at his defensive side, he might have monster numbers. Like, hey, yeah, let's put him there. Let's see what we can do there and have him play a season there and go from, and then of course you can always go back and change it later on. And then finally got Brady Willis here, and there you see, I'm trying to see exactly where he can play at here. Once I start seeing him have really low numbers on the offensive side, I kind of figured like, okay, maybe defensively, but then defensively he just got worse. So we went ahead, I believe we put him in the wide receiver position, so we can at least redshirt him. Of course, we do have several red shirts here, as we're just trying to get those guys to be on the scout team there and kind of look at film during the season and kind of just help us out that way, unless we really need them because of injury, which, cross our fingers, let's knock on some wood here. Hopefully that is not the case, as we try to go on this quest again here this season for season 5. Try to bring home another Pac-12 championship, and of course try to ultimately get to the national championship once again, or try to get to a decent bowl game for season 5, and put season 5 and this series for at least for the time being with a nice little bow to it, and kind of wrap up this series with Coach TJ Bonds. And like I said, this has been a fun series to play, especially with playing with other people here. It's been a really challenge of getting not getting everything I want, which I don't in my Highland Scotty series. I don't always get the players I'm looking out to go after, but this has been something different. I've never done this before, an online Dynasty, at least in the college games, and Madden I have in the past, and a couple other sports games, but this was really fun, and I cannot wait to play more of this. And like I said, unfortunately this is going to be the last of it, and we'll have to move on. Of course, there is an NCAA, another newer NCAA series that would be or should be starting here once this series gets wrapped up, and we'll have that one getting closer, more so probably midway through the IRL college season here coming up here in IRL. So and of course I don't know, it's going to be a coaching carousel, I know for sure. Don't know if it's going to be continue being Coach Teddy Bonds or TJ Bonds, or it could be a new coach. I have 2 new coaches actually, one of which I've kind of mentioned in a series already. If you've been paying attention to my Road to Show my Road to Glory series there on the main channel, I kind of mentioned the coach and possibility of him coaching somewhere. And that one is I'm kind of getting that one. I'm actually kind of getting the backstory, or kind of getting the prequel to that kind of set up here of the school he's going to go to. Should be a fun one. And then also to actually there's two coaches I named in that Road to Glory series. And then the other one is one of person that we already had on the channel there on the main channel. He was a player, but now he is he's coaching in a community college, and now he has a good chance here on this channel. He could be coaching for a Division I school. So if you guys have been paying attention to that series, which I hope you have, if you haven't, I'll leave a link up, maybe up above in the eye, and then somewhere down below of that particular series. But there's a good chance that he actually a really good shot, a really good opportunity for him to be in a series of his own coming up in a coaching carousel here on this channel. So that is something I'm looking at, kind of teasing, working on, and trying to figure out how that's going to work out and stuff like that, and so on and so forth. So definitely just just pay attention to the channel, to the community section there on the main channel, or more importantly, look on Discord, because I'll be posting stuff on there, and also check out our Twitter. I will also be dropping stuff on there from time to time about potential new series coming up. But as you see here, we're kind of looking at the roster changes here and moving guys around. Like I said, we are very thin on the offensive line again this year, as that is one of the things I'm going to be again stressing a lot about coming up in this season that we're in, because I don't want to leave them with nothing once we leave, especially if we do decide to come back with this series. You know, if Steve and them go through 2 or 3 seasons, and I decide to come back, because Steve and them said they're gonna keep my coach there. They're gonna he's gonna kind of take care of it himself for it, and keep the coach there and whatnot, and just gonna send the games and whatnot. But to make sure my coach doesn't get fired or anything, he's gonna make sure that doesn't happen. So if I do want to come back, we can come back and see what he's done since he left, which I think that'd be a cool series, like a cool little revamp series that we can check out and say, hey, this is what he did so far when he was no longer user controlled. So but there you see the training stats there, and not too bad. Got a lot of 90 plus guys there on our team. Take a look at just kind of breaking down each of the positions there. Joel James, of course, 91 overall. But Isaiah Davis, that I kind of played over the couple games there this recent season, he is a guy that could have a full-on starting role as a sophomore. I was going to go ahead and throw in there during his freshman year, but then I decided to give Joel James another shot. But now Joel James, he is on the hot seat, and he's got to put up or shut up. And so he's gonna have to play really good football. He's got to be accurate, as his accuracy is not the greatest. But and neither is Davis. But Davis has better, not necessarily better speed, but his overall is good. But there's something about him that I just feel more comfortable with. Him in the pocket and him be able just to make plays. So we'll see how things go with that little battle there. Not saying there's a quarterback controversy there at Stanford, but both have been put on notice. Just put it that way. Same thing in the halfback position there. We're still going to do a two halfback set, or 2 halfbacks sometimes on the field at the same time. Sometimes not one. One's going to play in one formation, the other's going to play in another. Wide receiver wise, I think I'm real comfortable with our wide receivers. I think right there, Terrell Hell will probably play a lot more, be more implicated in a lot of plays. I'm really thinking about putting him in the slot position there. So because you see his great speed there, what he can do, and I would be even tempted to make him maybe wide receiver 1, maybe I don't know, but we'll see how that goes. He is only 82 overall, but I like that speed that young man has on him. And he also has a great catch too. So, but like I said, we're really thin in the offensive part here. We only have one center, so we're gonna be in trouble if he ends up going down. And then there you see some of the defensive ends there for us, or defensive tackles. Great there. A lot of those guys are going to get a lot of the backups will probably get some more playing time here, just kind of shake things up and get things better. But linebacker core there, we need another left guy. I might end up moving. I may go ahead and did that beforehand. Now that I think about it here, should have moved some of those middle linebackers over to left, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. Could move some of those lower rated guys there, kind of move them over to the left side and get them so they can get some experience there, as there is a bit of a logjam there in the middle linebacker position there. So it's something that we can be looking at here for the season. And there you see the right side there. But I think overall this is going to be really nice. And of course, there you see my boy, Zach Melton. I'm so glad that he did not want to go to the pros. He is going to be back for another year, so is along with Benton. There you see Ricky Jude, free safety, did a great job there. Vincent Benson, he had a nice, good year towards the end there. Of course, Jeremy Moore and Joey Davis as our strong safeties there. They're doing a great job, and we're hoping to see more of them, as they're going to be, again, just rotating those guys in and out, keeping it fresh there, getting that experience for those guys, and making sure that we can all stay healthy on this squad this year, because it's going to be very important, especially offensive line. Offensive line is going to be really difficult to really rotate, but yeah, it's something that we're just going to have to do and just try to do our best in, and not put kind of keep this pressure off of our QB. And speaking of QBs, we got some roster cuts here. You'll see some of these there. You guys can check this out, but for the most part here, we don't have Oregon this year to play, because Oregon got kicked out of the Pac-12 North, and now they're in the Mountain West after they had a very, 2-12, 2 and some, I forgot what it was that they had. They had I think they only won 2 games out of the whole year. So they're out, and of course we'll show you guys here in a bit. We'll get into more about that, but Utah State, I think, is a new school that's coming in and taking their spot, and then Idaho, I think, stayed. They were, because it's the bottom, the worst teams in both divisions, both in the North and who the worst team in the North is and who the worst team in the South is. Those are the ones that are going to be taken out, and then it'll be replaced by the best 2 top teams, who are basically the 2 teams that went to the Mountain West Championship. And we'll see those here in just a bit. But there you see making some of the roster cuts, and this is always usually tough. This year, kind of somewhat tough. But for the most part here, we got kind of cut some guys that just been on the team for a while now, but are just not making an impact. They're not making any moves here. Like you see Jennings here. He's a sophomore red shirt. 65 overall. We could cut him, but looking for guys that are just this is their second year, or maybe they're a freshman last year, and so far they this one year they have it doesn't look like they're gonna be making any strides to go anywhere, so we kind of get rid of them, or even maybe some juniors here that are just not cutting it. And we're like, hey, sorry, nothing personal, but you gotta go. So like I said, the cuts are always difficult because you want to have a plethora of different guys from from all the spectrum, from the low end, from the high end to the low end. But they're not cutting it, and they're not doing what they need to do on the field. They're actually causing problems because they're low, they're poor overall. Then we have to got to trim that fat, thin to win, as they say in the food service world. If you own a restaurant, you thin to win. So that's something that we're trying to do here, and becoming pretty successful at it. But at the same time, it'd be nice to have some fat, on that meat, and have more, be able to just really shift, people around, get some more playing time here. But I mean, we're doing that here, but I just wish we had some really good, authentic depth in our roster, and that's right now just not having it right now. Like I said, it's gonna come down. It really comes down to, because of how established we are. I'm trying to really focus more points on the recruiting side of it when it comes to coaching points with the coaches XP and stuff like that. So that's, like I said, that's just something we have to deal with. Hopefully we can get more coaching points here and put more focus on more of the recruiting side of it, so we can get those we get those instant recruits and have them sign as soon as we talk to them and stuff like that. So that is something. Of course, I don't really I think I said this before, but I just do not like this recruiting on this game. I wish we kind of had what we had back in, I think it was NCAA 10 and NCAA 11, some of the early teen NCAAs. I just wish we had that, because I don't like this one. It's just, I know that's kind of the consistency of what a lot of people are saying in the NCAA community here on YouTube. But yeah, personally, I don't like it either. I hate it. I'd rather call them and kind of fill them out and see what they like or dislike with our school, and kind of work with them and try to convince them to either sway them or convince them to come to our school and then play for us. So, but yeah, this was a good season. Had a lot of fun, and I'm hoping we'll have even more fun here coming up. And like I said, the storylines that we're going through this season, it was just, I couldn't come up with this on my own. And that's what I do. I just let the game play and just let things happen and just kind of build off the stories and the angles and stuff like that for the episodes, because how the game plays and what the players do and whatnot, and also kind of what's going on with Steve and Taylor, what their teams are going through right now, and just kind of it's our SEER team, and we just we have our ups and downs. I mean, so far we've been having great fun against Cal, beating them up and giving them a hard time, and I think this year might be their year, so they might be able to come back. There you see the course, our conference rules and how the conference is set up, and there you see what is what. They're in the Pac-12, the division names, all that kind of stuff there. Of course, we play our game in San Diego, and of course I can't really change none of this because I'm not the commissioner, but that's pretty much just for some people that want to know what the all that stuff was on there. Take a look at redshirt players. About to do that here in just a bit. As you take a look here, you got Dan Smith going to be redshirted there for the quarterback position. But yeah, this was a good, like I said, a really great year. Had a lot of fun with it and learned a lot about this team, what they can do and what they can't do. And of course, every season is different. You don't have the same season. You don't have the same players on the team. And of course, I did lose quite a few players on the team. And for that reason, we have to change things up. So, like I said, we'll change things up. We'll try to, fit it to the ability, from the abilities that we have for players, and just, just do what we can to get the team better and just try to, if anything, try to get to a decent bowl game this year. I'm not looking, like I said, I'm not looking to like, we're going to three-peat this shit. We're gonna do it, and making it look good. Because like I said, Taylor and Steve, they had an off year this year. Taylor only lost one game. Steve did not, but Steve wasn't. He didn't have the points. He didn't put up a lot of points on a lot of teams, and by the time he did, it was already too late. It was the other two teams locked in. And of course, the other team, the computer, it's playing really well, simming very well, and like making teams like Texas A&M be a powerhouse, being monsters. And same thing with Illinois and a couple other schools there. You wouldn't necessarily think that would be, of course, of time they really did a great job of recruiting and really building a team. And that's always nice. I like seeing that in NCAA. I like seeing the changing of the guard. Seeing some of the powerhouse schools when you first start the game kind of not necessarily completely go away, but kind of settle down in that the rankings there in the teens, or outside the top 25 looking in. But then you start seeing teams like Texas A&M or Illinois or some of even the smaller schools there, some of the mid-conference schools there, and some of the MAC schools there do really well and really put up a fight against the Power 5 schools. So it's really nice. It's a nice change there, and it's going to be even. I think this season's going to be even much more fun to play this series. And as I said, by far, NCAA football games are by far my favorite. I love playing these games. I really ever get tired of them. Sometimes I do have to get back away and take a break from them. But for the most part here, I just love playing them. I enjoy them, and just the different things that go on, and just see the evolution, the changes of teams, and teams like Alabama or Clemson start kind of trickling away and kind of going away. They're still in the hunt, but at the same time, there's a little bit of a ding, a little bit of a dent in their armor that you can expose and really take advantage of. There you see the preseason. Navy, USC, Ohio State, Stanford. Wow, number 4, Air Force at number 5. That's Taylor's team, and of course the Lovelady Lions at number 6, Texas A&M at number 7. Ooh, so we're going to have a nice top 10 battle coming up here in the very first week. I told Steve, I was like, I want to play. I don't care what A&M's at. I want to play them. I told him I want to play them on the road, but he ended up putting them. He ended up making it a home game for us. So we don't get to go to College Station because I was wanting to just play against them because I wanted that crowd. I wanted that 12th man to make it tough for me and make it tough for the team and whatnot. To have that first road, that difficulty on the road and trying to see what we can do on the road. But he didn't do that. I think he forgot. So yeah, we have to try to. Maybe that's something I can schedule at another time here. But there you see the rest of the top 25 of the preseason. TCU, of course, being number 5 there. Alabama ranked number 11 this season, taking on Texas in week 1. But there you see the Heisman watch: Speedy Davis, Baldwin again, Spencer, Peters. And then, of course, Cook there for the Bengal Tigers there of LSU. So, some familiar names you're probably accustomed to. I really thought Speedy Davis was going to be going pro, but Taylor ended up having him come back. And then, of course, Baldwin, one of the younger players there for the Lovely Lions there. Had a really good year last year. Came pretty much out of nowhere and then really tried to fight there towards the end, but our guy Marks made sure of that, keeping him at number 3, and of course Marks stayed at 2. Taylor's, of course, going to be playing week 1. We have a bye week, and then we play week 2. We play number 7 Texas A&M. Then we have another home game against San Diego State, who are now in the Pac-12 once again. We stay in the Pac-12. We got early Pac-12 play. If you not know this here in this series. Utah State on the road against also Arizona State, who are ranked 15th in the nation in week 4. Oregon State in week 6 on a home game. Then we're back on the road again for 2 weeks. We have Fresno State in week 7. Week 8, we take on a ranked Notre Dame. I'm hoping that they will be something fun to see. Utah, and then at BYU, ranked BYU at number 10th week. And then week 11, Duke at home. And then, of course, that big game there, a rivalry game against Cal. Number 21 ranked Cal, but I'm hoping by then they'll probably be ranked in the top 10. If we can run the table there, that should be another good matchup. And of course, Central Michigan, we have a week off in week 13, but week 14 we take on Central Michigan at home for that game. So there you see, that is the off season, you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. But for the most part here, this has been a fun series. I've been loving this one, putting this one together, and I cannot wait how season 5 is going to turn out here. Like I said, I don't like making predictions of anything really too often, but I think this is going to be. There I am making a prediction. I don't know. This could be a historic year for this series, season 5. I really truly feel like we can have something special here. Not necessarily win another national championship, but maybe if we don't win a national championship, hopefully we can win the Heisman. It's still the Heisman from Speedy Davis, and not let him repeat. But yeah, I feel like there's going to be something special about this season, especially with Isaiah Davis. Possibly, if he, if James does not play well, possibly something with Isaiah Davis there as quarterback, and we'll see. We'll have to see. But that's it for this episode, guys. If you guys did enjoy today's episode of the Stanford Cardinals Online Dynasty, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you happen to be new. Hit that bell notification so you guys be notified of this series or any other series here on the channel. You guys can also check us out on ESGNet, the main channel, as you guys can follow us on the Highland Scotty series over there. Not to mention, follow us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord. Check out for the latest news and events on what's going on in this series, all our series on both channels, and what's going on in the world of sports gaming and sports in general. Thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned for week number 2. We'll skip. See there, we have a bye week in the first week. We'll do the recruiting and such. Excuse me. And then we'll move on to week 2 where we take on Texas A&M. They're going to be ranked 7th in the nation, or currently ranked 7th in the nation. And we'll see how that goes in that top. Could be a potential top 5 matchup. We could have number 5 matchup with number 4 if they end up winning. So we'll see how things go. So that's it for me. As always, keep yourselves and each other healthy. Stay safe. Stay cool. And I'll see you guys next time.